Hello everyone. So as you know, there's two by-elections happening in this country, in Galway West and in Dublin Central. And it's going to be very interesting. The reason why I say that it's going to be very interesting, why it's only two seats up for grabs in the two constituency, one in each constituency. But the point of the matter is, we've seen with the few protests, we've seen people that can't afford to pay their rent, can't afford to live basically in society, Irish people, and the huge amount of Irish people emigrating and everybody else coming in. And of course we see the increase in evictions, etc. So what I'm trying to say is the Irish people going to tell the government to go fuck themselves, basically in the nicest possible way. And the establishment too, because Sinn Féin, the Social Democrats, the Labour Party are not much better. And now if you wish to vote for them, you can, of course. But what I'm trying to say, regardless if you vote for, to be totally honest, the Social Democrats, people before profit, I don't think they'll be any better than this government. I don't think any of them will vote any damn. But I will say, what if I was in them constituency who I would vote for. And these would be the people anti-establishment, the most anti-establishment you can get, because that's what we need. We need people that are not with the establishment, because the establishment's out to get you, the establishment's out to destroy you, and it's clearly to be seen at this stage. It's not like they're hiding it. But I would say in Galway West, vote for A.G. Kelly, which is the Irish people, not the Irish people in general, but a party called the Irish People. So Calhoun, may I say. But please do, if you can, vote for him, or vote even for Independent Ireland. At the moment in time, the way we see it in Galway West, going by the polls, but again, you never can tell by the polls, that Fine Gael is most likely to take the seat in Galway West. Or it could be Independent Ireland, which, I wouldn't mind. I would rather Independent Ireland over Fine Gael. But yeah, so if you want to vote for Independent Ireland too, Noel Thomas, I think his name is, either consider vote for A.G. Kelly, as I say, in the Irish People, or vote for Independent Ireland, or even vote for Aontú, I would need to say, because Aontú is, I might disagree with a good bit of Aontú's policies, and I don't think they're tough enough on immigration and stuff, but I would rather pick them over, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, Labour Party, the Social Democrats, etc. And just saying about Dublin Central, now this is the one everybody's going to be watching, and the reason why I just talked about this one first, because everybody's going to be talking about Dublin Central, even if everybody got elected in Galway West, even though there was one seat. But in Dublin Central, it's going to be interesting. As you know, the Hutch, Gerard the Monk Hutch is going for election. He done very well in the last election. Nearly got the seat. The Labour Party took the seat off him. But what I'm trying to say is, it's going to be hard to know how well he's going to do, because that's what's going to all depend on. Now, I would say to people straight off the bat to vote for Malachy Stevenson, the independent councillor in Dublin City Council. I would say to you to vote for him if you can. And if you wish to, of course, it's your own wish. But I'm just saying, if I was in their constituency, that's who I'd be giving my number one vote to, Malachy Stevenson, the independent. I might disagree with him on maybe a few things, but he was always standing up straight for the people in that area. He was always there for the people in that area. And he seems like he's always negotiable, and he seems like he's always there for people in Dublin Central. So I do say to people to consider that when you go to the polls tomorrow. And even if I say to you, if you want to give Malachy Stevenson number one and Gerard the Monk Hutch number two, I would vote for the most anti-establishment, as I say, candidates. Now, a lot of people would argue about the Hutch, that he was put there by the establishment to take votes away from Malachy Stevenson. That could be all well and good, but I don't know. It's hard to know. But I tell you one thing, if the Hutch does do well, it's going to bring a lot of attention to the state, to the people of Ireland, and particularly Dublin. As we remember in the last election, there was people here from America talking about it, news crowds from America talking about it. There was news crowds from England, there was news crowds from other parts of Europe that were here talking about this by-election in this election, the last time general election in this part of Dublin. And the whole attention was on that, But what I'm trying to say is we need to be the most at the establishment. We need to use our voice. It's not about, we like this candidate or we don't like this candidate. It's about our policies, and we need to think about it. And I think the thing about it is too, because a lot of Irish people do think about themselves. At this point, you have to stop thinking about yourself. I know that sounds a bit mean and stuff, but you have to think about the country, the future of the country, not about yourself. Like, I don't think anymore about what benefits me when I go to vote. It's not, I couldn't give a damn about myself. At this point in life, I'm not bothered. I'm worried about the country. I'm worried about when I go, if I drop dead in a week's time, what's going to happen to Ireland, to the country. And really am worried, because I don't know will the Irish state live another 100 years if this continues, because it's in a very bad way. The country, how Irish society is in a very bad way. And voting the same old parties in again, it's not helping it, let's put it that way. In my view. But what I'm trying to say is, think about the country. Think about what's right for the country, not what's right for you. Because at the end of the day, none of the parties give a damn and are not going to do anything to help in a lot of the cases. unless you get independent people in there, that independent people that they're not with any party, they have no allegiance to anybody but the country. I think that's the good thing with independence, because these Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael TDs, etc., senators and stuff, and councillors, they have allegiance to the party, and the same with the majority of the political parties. They have allegiance to the party before the country, and that's the problem with politics too in general, because the parties are basically more important. Their position in the parties are more important than the country, and when you see that, it's very, very worrying that they're willing to put the parties above the country. But as I say to people, it's your own choice. But I do say to people to do go vote. A few people have said they're going to spoil their vote and stuff, but I wouldn't spoil their vote. I would just vote for the establishment candidate if you're going to do that. But at the end of the day, you're perfectly entitled to do that. But I don't think it's necessary in this election, because you do have candidates that are anti-establishment and will annoy the government a good bit if they do get in. But that's what I would say to people. That's just my view on it. But I would say to people to do use your vote, regardless of if you are registered to vote, do use it. I would say to the people in that area and them areas. So we see what happens. But I don't know. It could be Fine Gael. I don't know. Just to say in Dublin Central, I actually forgot to say that the Sinn Féin candidate is likely to win in Dublin Central. Going by the polls, again, you never can tell. It could change now tomorrow morning. We just don't know. A lot of people too. The last point I make, a lot of people too. There was interviews done outside a football stadium and on the street and stuff. And some people didn't even know there was a by-election. First of all, in their area. Second of all, that the majority of people are just fucking sick and tired of the whole fucking lot of it and don't see the point in voting at all. Which I wouldn't blame them, to be totally honest. I wouldn't blame them in that situation. A lot of young people are just disenfranchised and just don't care anymore. And a lot of people, that's just that. But we have to try and encourage people to to vote and stuff, because it is important to get these crowd out. But anyway, let me know what you think. Who would you vote for? Are you in that constituency? Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Thank you everyone for watching, and subscribe for more, and bye.